ourselves what love is, what attention is, and what affection is, then we're going off of our own standard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not always right.
Because those standards can be based off of our feelings. I feel like
Exactly.
I can
And
take
how we
care of you.
and how we saw our family do it towards us, or friends do it towards us as we grew up in our environments. But then again, like we mentioned before, you are merging your life with another person, and we've said in our book, you're merging eyes, two different people, and the way they interpreted love, affection, and attention is very different from how you've interpreted it.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all are becoming one. You have to really learn how, what does God say about love, affection, and attention.
Absolutely.
So that way you two can come into agreement.
So the beautiful thing about putting God first, and our pastor even said this too, is that when you ask someone what's their relationship with God looks like, if they don't have God in the priority of their life, like the number one priority of their life, then everything under that is going to trickle down, and it might have a lot of negative impacts on their lives.
And I think a lot of people view that question very religiously,
Mm-hmm.
or so even if the person who's asking that question isn't being religious, they're just genuinely asking.
Mm-hmm.
Some people receive it as religious, but if we really take religion out of it and you ask someone, what is your relationship like with God? I pray that the person that's asking and the person that's receiving that question really digs deep into their heart and say, what is my relationship like with Christ?
Mm-hmm.
And not, are you not sinning? Not, are you not smoking and drinking? Not, are you wilding out, whatever the world, whatever you're doing in the world. That's not what they're asking.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking, what is your relationship like with Christ?
Mm-hmm.
Not, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. And healing actually is a good way to understand that relationship with God.
Yes.
Because and I'm speaking for me, and you can speak for you, but I think we have similar connotations of what healing and our relationship with God looks like. It's the point that you're not looking at, am I sinning or not? You're looking at the fact that God did make me an individual with a past, a present, and a future. He loves all of me, my past, my present, and my future. And I don't need to beat myself up for every mistake that I made. Yes, I can learn from them, but I don't need to beat myself up. And also, because I love myself after loving God, I can look at someone else and say, you know what?
The exact same thing.
You ain't that bad. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your grace and your mercy. Thank you for this time to be able to share knowledge and wisdom to others, giving people hope, giving them belief that they can have a beautiful future with someone. That's what we're here for. But even if they are alone, Father God, let them know that they are beautifully and wonderfully made by themselves. Lord, we just want to, again, just extend our love to everyone. Be with them. Show them their future. Show them what they are made of and capable of. Give them courage. Give them strength. Give them peace. And we just want to say that we love you and thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Welcome back again. Welcome back to There's an I in Marriage, based on the book There's an I in Marriage by Nick and Kayla. How you doing? Yep. Of course, we always got to say it. If you haven't checked out this book, it's online, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Anywhere online around the world, you can find it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You got some in your face.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what you have a wife for. She just makes sure you taken care of, and I do the same thing. I do the same thing. But for those who just now tuning in the first time, just want to let you know, or just remind you that we post these every 2 weeks on Friday at 8 a.m. So, go on ahead, like and subscribe, so that way you can get into that rotation. We want to always again share, knowledge and wisdom on what it takes to be married, what it takes to be happily married. Um, we pushing 3 years.
With the podcast?
No, being married.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
No.
being married, yes.
Being married,
We've
yes.
been married 3 years. We've been together for 5. About to be 5.
Yep. It's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful ride. Yeah. So, do we have any businesses we want to promote?
Honestly, in prayer, I was thinking about that, but nobody popped up on my mind. Do you have any?
Well, outside of myself, because I was going to shamelessly plug that I've been doing karaoke's at Crab 99 in Indianapolis. I mentioned that business before. Crab 99 is a great restaurant for seafood and everything. But every Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. I do R&B karaoke there. And it's been a great time. If you haven't seen it on TikTok or somewhere, I highly encourage you to get a free Thursday just to come out and just experience R&B music. I love playing, especially like love music. You don't really get to hear that much. I'm planning something for Valentine's Day, but you'll realize that this is coming out after Valentine's Day. But in this journey as being a DJ and going from different spaces and finding new spaces to play the music that I love, I do appreciate R&B, like that real R&B, not the will we want we stuff. It's still beautiful music, and shout out to every artist that expressed themselves. But it's nothing like hearing a song where somebody's just saying like, "I love you." I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. And so I get to play that stuff, and yeah, if you like music like that too, bring yourself down. Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah, and if, like we mentioned before, if you have a business, any services or anything like that, just reach out to us through email or message on Instagram or TikTok, and let us know, and we'll
do that for
we'll do
you.
Some free advertising for you.
We really will.
Okay.
Yeah. So today, we're gonna keep on going with these steps when it comes to dating towards marriage. But I think this is a big one that encompasses actual marriage as well. So to get started, basically, step number 4, you ask God to help you heal from the past. And so, of course, everybody has their different takes on healing. Sometimes you check out and just be like, "Up, they're talking about healing again," or, but it's like, first of all, if you want to get dating right, you want to get marriage right, you got to understand that you don't, like, if you okay, let me put it this way. If your heart is not set on allowing the space that you're going to be with another person to be healthy, to be where you're not hurting someone else, if you really don't want to hurt someone else, healing is important. If you don't want to hurt someone else, healing is important. That's what I'm really trying to say. And I think sometimes even our pastor kind of brought it up in his sermon today, that like we just do things based on the way that we feel. We just hop into relationships. We talk to people because we think they're attractive and you're ready for romance. And I even talked about it in the last episode. Like, I thought I was ready. I didn't know I was capable of hurting people. And this is why healing is important. So let's talk about it. First and foremost, and what our pastor said today, just again for context, this is the first Sunday of February. So if you was at New Beginnings, shout out to you if you was not at New Beginnings. This is what it was about. God commanded us to love each other. Love Him first.
Mm-hmm.
Love Him with all your mind, soul, strength.
Mm-hmm.
And then He said, love each other as we love ourselves. And the biggest takeaway was, if you don't respect where God's place is in your life, then you're going to have a harder time with relationships, because He's the one that orchestrates everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that knows it all, but also He understands what love is to the max. And like I've mentioned before, if you don't want to hurt someone, then you have to learn how God says not to hurt people.
Learn how to love them.
Learn how to love them. But we can sit here and say that we love people, right? We sit here and say that I know how to give someone attention every day. I know how to encourage them. I know how to.
By whose definition? I feel like we talked about this before. Like, if we sit here and we define ourselves what love is, what attention is, and what affection is, then we're going off of our own standard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not always right.
Because those standards can be based off of our feelings. I feel like I can take care of you.
And how we saw our family do it towards us, or friends do it towards us as we grew up in our environments. But then again, like we mentioned before, you are merging your life with another person, and we've said in our book, you're merging eyes, two different people, and the way they interpreted love, affection, and attention is very different from how you've interpreted it. And y'all are becoming one. You have to really learn what does God say about love, affection, and attention.
Absolutely.
So that way you two can come into agreement.
So the beautiful thing about putting God first, and our pastor even said this too, is that when you ask someone what's their relationship with God looks like, if they don't have God in the priority of their life, like the number one priority of their life, then everything under that is going to trickle down, and it might have a lot of negative impacts on their lives.
And I think a lot of people view that question very religiously, or so even if the person who's asking that question isn't being religious, they're just genuinely asking. Some people receive it as religious, but if we really take religion out of it, and you ask someone, what is your relationship like with God? I pray that the person that's asking and the person that's receiving that question really digs deep into their heart and say, what is my relationship like with Christ? And not, are you not sinning? Not, are you not smoking and drinking? Not, are you wilding out, whatever you're doing in the world. That's not what they're asking. They're asking, what is your relationship like with Christ? Not, what are you doing?
And healing actually is a good way to understand that relationship with God.
Yes.
Because and I'm speaking for me, and you can speak for you, but I think we have similar connotations of what healing and our relationship with God looks like. It's the point that you're not looking at, am I sinning or not? You're looking at the fact that God did make me an individual with a past, a present, and a future. He loves all of me, my past, my present, and my future. And I don't need to beat myself up for every mistake that I made. Yes, I can learn from them, but I don't need to beat myself up. And also, because I love myself after loving God, I can look at someone else and say, you know what?
The exact same thing.
You ain't that bad. Do you have headaches when it comes to relationships, like in your dating life or in your marriage life? Like, do you have questions when it comes to marriage, and what does that even look like? Or are you having a hard time getting married? Like, ugh.
Well, if you do, we have the solution for that. We have a book titled There's an I in Marriage.
Boom.
This book has all the answers to anyone who is dating, single, married, any way for you to get those headaches out of those situations. The answers are in here.
Boom. Look, we have a YouTube page as well with our podcast. We talk about all these different topics. And yeah, just follow along. Like, subscribe. Come check us out. Get the book. Do it. You made some mistakes, but I made some too.
Love holds no record of wrong. And when we were in church, when he was talking about like loving God and loving yourself, I actually looked up the definition of love in the Bible. Mm-hmm. In 1 Corinthians 13. Mm-hmm. That's just a scripture I want to remember. I want to memorize. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not forces its own way. Love is not boastful. Love is not jealous. Mm-hmm. Love holds no record of wrongs. All that stuff. So when I thought about that, I was just like, wow. Like, that's literally God. And if we're loving God and then we love ourselves, we do love. You do love. Mm-hmm. God is love, but we do love.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was good. Today was good.
Today was good. Yeah. So kind of given what we would like to talk about, I'm not sure how long this conversation is, and we don't want to drag it out too crazily. But beyond the point of going to God first, we want to talk about, how do you start this healing process? Mm-hmm. How do you know that you're healing well? When is a good time to maybe even start dating? Or what if I'm already married and I realize that I need to heal some more? Some of these things are what we're going to talk about today, mm-hmm. kind of just giving that context. So let's see. Healing definitely starts with your past. Mm-hmm. We talk about there's an I in marriage, like you said. There's an I, there's a you. There's an individual that you're bringing into this relationship. We talked about before, like getting to a point where you can't let the world tell you who you are or how a relationship should be. It's this intimate relationship with God that's important. And so when you're saying to yourself, all right, the way that I've been doing relationships before, I don't want to do them like that again. Mm-hmm. I think that's an important indication that you're ready to heal and you're ready to do things God's way, mm-hmm. and allow God, now submitting yourself to God in this process. If you haven't gotten to that point, I don't think that any relationship that you have going forward, until you have that conversation with yourself and with God, is going to be productive. Pastor even said that before today. It's like you want to have meaningful relationships. You want to be with someone and actually go somewhere. You want it to blossom and be a blessing to you. And you want to be a blessing to them, because that's what it's about. You're not
just about consuming.
Yes. You don't, sometimes we get into the places where we look at someone as like, oh, be my everything. Mm. Okay, they can't be your everything. Can you comprehend that? They cannot be your everything. First of all, God is supposed to be that.
And the first thing from what we read was Lord, our God is one. There's one.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
So this is the deprogramming that we're talking about. Like, you have to let yourself understand that God is number one. No person can be that for you. And then also, since nobody can be that for you, you cannot be that for them. Mm-hmm. I know we say on Instagram, well, I'm the blessing, I'm the prize, no, back up. I am an imperfect person. And not when I pick and choose and say that I'm imperfect, and when somebody comes up to me, no, I'm perfect, I'm fine, I'm good. No, at all times, I am imperfect. God, I really want to have a beautiful marriage. I submit myself to you and your ways. And if that means that I don't need to date for a while, if that means that I need some healing done, please show me what I need to do.
I feel like a way you know you're ready to heal is when you get tired of yourself.
That's it.
You really get tired of making the same mistakes. You get tired of you because then you start to notice the same dating patterns, the same relational patterns, and you're like, I can't trust anyone. Is that really that case? You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all these women or all these men are the same. Is that really the case? If you're starting to see things constantly be the same and there's a pattern and you are always upset about it, once you recognize that and you actually voice and you be honest, like I'm really tired of that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something different. Then your heart is ready to heal. You just now have to make the conscious decisions to heal.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. The conscious decisions, because you can sit here and say that, God, I'm sorry, but then you can wake up the next day
And be
and
on autopilot,
be on autopilot.
doing the same thing you did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to wake up and you have to be conscious enough to break the patterns that you're seeing in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, every time I wake up, it's always something. Okay, what are you doing that can make a small difference in your day? So I know for me,
Mm-hmm.
instead of waking up and getting on Instagram the past few years, I wake up and I thank God. I wake up and I say a small prayer. I wake up and I sit on the edge of the bed and I breathe. Or I just look out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just look over at you.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just get up and be like, okay, let me go to the bathroom. Let me get myself together.
Mm-hmm.
Lately for me, I know I've been slowing my brain down because as soon as I wake up, my brain is ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be like, okay, slow down. How did we get to this moment? What was I thinking about to get to this moment? Okay, this is what the original thought was.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's recenter. So things like that. You have to make the conscious decision to not do what you used to do when you're ready to heal.
I love that last part, how you said you slow yourself down to the point where you're starting to think, how did I get to this point?
Yes.
How did this idea get in my head?
Yes.
How did I make the decisions when I did make the decisions?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when healing starts to get a little deeper than just saying, all right, none of these people are good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to hide in my hole until somebody just comes into my life and they're beautiful and they're everything that I need them to be.
Everything that you need them to be.
No,
it's
that's
like, no.
let's actually start going down this process. Okay. I was hurt in middle school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever my
realizing those things
boyfriend did, and I'm talking metaphorically here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't because that's just random, right? But like ladies,
no,
if you're at that point where you're like, I've been hurt. Men, if you like, I've been hurt at this point.
Mm-hmm.
My father didn't show up for me, and this is why I don't love a certain way, or I took this a certain way.
My mother did this to me, or this is what she didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to do it, or this is what my father did or didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do it. So, but again, it starts with making the conscious decision. So like if you notice you're out in public and someone is making you upset, or something is making you upset.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be afraid when you want to heal. You cannot be afraid to say, why am I upset?
Mm-hmm.
And don't feel bad. Don't condemn yourself, because condemnation is not the language of heaven. That is not what God wants for you. And I've learned that these last few months. Like, God does not want to condemn you. He wants to help you. So
Mm-hmm.
if there's something in your spirit that's telling you like, hey, you're feeling something, don't ignore your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but don't let it be the line leader. be conscious enough to say, why am I upset? Let me go dig deeper as to figure out why I'm upset about this, or why, why is this such a trigger for me? That begins the flow of healing, when you actually are not afraid to confront the triggers.
Hmm. So a couple things that I want to address is, you're saying that you're taking accountability. Like you're taking accountability of your own space, of your own experiences, points of view, perspectives. You're saying, okay, the information that is in my brain, what am I doing with this? That's a very important thing to do. Another thing is not going to alcohol, not going to drugs. It's not
Any vice, a vice.
it's not that, again, the religious, oh, you shouldn't smoke, you shouldn't drink.
That doesn't bring you closer to God if you don't do it. I'm not saying go do it. I'm not saying not saying
we're both
anything.
not saying. Yeah, absolutely.
What we're saying is your vice should be God. Your vice, if there's something that is bothering you, in order to heal, you have to peel it back. The truth shall set you free, is what the Bible says.
Absolutely.
When we confess our sins to one another, we are then healed. If you sit here and you try to mask it, but then continuously say, I want to be healed, I want to be healed, I want to be healed, it's like, okay, you're saying these things, but your behavior isn't matching it. So the more you try to hide whatever's bothering you, marriage is just going to unveil it more.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't call it out, your partner going to call it out.
Because they see you every day.
They see you every day, and eventually what's irritating you is going to irritate them. I'll be honest, babe. I can't stand when you leave your clothes out. But I know for me, the trigger is I don't like mess. But then there's a piece of me that also is like, okay, Kayla, the mess ain't going to kill you. So so I know, okay, don't let your feeling of anger and frustration take you out so bad that you go in there and yell at him about a t-shirt on the dresser. You can say, hey, babe, do you mind putting these clothes away? And now that I've brought that to your attention over the years, the fact that you are now, hey, I'm sorry, I got it a mess up here. I'll clean it up before I even say anything. But you see where I'm saying with, like, that's something that marriage just brings out these things in people. Like you didn't know anything about the whole clothes thing. You did that when you lived by yourself. And when I would come over, I saw, this is just something that you did. But now that we're living, you see what I'm saying, though, right?
I kept it clean when I wanted to, but if I didn't want to, it was just going to be there.
Yeah. But I'm saying is,
being around you, seeing and hearing your responses to how I have created a mess, I choose to, clean up because I want to love you. I don't want you to be upset. I don't want you to yell at me, but it's not like you're going to.
But I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to, because I know that's a piece of me that has healed. I don't need to voice. If something needs to be done, I don't need to yell.
That's another thing. That's
I don't
another
need that.
layer
But that's just one thing that I had to heal from. In my house, when something needed to be done and you didn't do it the first time, guess what?
Oh, we young.
You getting yelled at.
And that's a lot of people's families right there.
That's a lot of people's families, and that's just a piece of me that I know I didn't want to bring. Like, okay, I don't need to yell. And I'm not saying that anybody's bad for yelling, but at the same time, that energy, I don't need to bring that into this. I don't need to bring that to you, because at the end of the day, where I'm going to sleep.
Next to me.
Exactly. So what am I yelling at you for?
Because
exactly. But this is the whole clothes thing is just an example of healing, and then marriage bringing out the things that you didn't really recognize what were a problem per se, or a issue, or that's something that could have driven a bound, that could have drew a wedge between us.
Absolutely, because one thing about marriage, if it's not about a mess, if it's not something externally, I can look at you, and if your facial expressions don't look excited or happy or something, I'm gonna ask, how are you? What's going on? And so the thing about healing that's important is some people could look at it as, what you upset for today?
Right.
What's your problem?
Right.
What but like, no, babe, what's going on? Are you all
Mm-hmm.
right? How you doing? You
And
asked
don't
me
take it
earlier today.
personal. Yeah.
Like, are you okay, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just
Yeah.
it's just today.
And
Today is
I
just today.
think we have to be humble enough to not take certain things personal. That's another piece of healing, because instead of feeling like the victim or you're the black sheep or whatever you claim to feel like, stop claiming that, because again, like, you're not the most important person in the room. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, when we're in rooms, I promise you, nobody's thinking about you. Like, if it is, it's probably out of 100 people, it's probably 2 people that's probably thinking about you.
And hopefully those
and
are
they're
your
probably like close to you.
Yeah.
Like, they're not across the room.
friends.
They're not in the middle of the room. Like, you know what I mean? So we're really not that important. Once we break that pattern too in our brain, I think we can kind of sit in ourselves and be more confident too. So that's another piece of healing that should happen in the process, or could happen in the process as you're going.
So we talked about analyzing some of the traumas, the different things that we've been through. Um, One thing that God can do in this process, along with other resources, but first go to God first. I believe you should go to God first. Is you ask God to show you the right way to handle each problem.
Yeah.
Like how you just said, like, okay, I don't need to yell at Nick.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be times when God is trying to talk to you and say, hey, you ain't got to do all of that.
You don't.
Because you're just going to add more fire to the whole room. And God's way should lead you to peace.
Yeah.
Granted, sometimes God did instruct people to go to war, but that's because God said stand up to certain things. And yes, you don't need to be a pushover.
Right, yeah, stand up to certain things, absolutely.
But there's definitely a way to communicate. And God will show you how to communicate, show you how to set boundaries, show you how to navigate when somebody's going through something hard.
There's a time for everything.
There's definitely a time for everything. Somebody could be going through a place where somebody had passed away and now they're withdrawn, but that's because they need to spend time healing. That does, and like you just said, if you thought that you were the most important person in the room, you would dismiss this whole relationship just because you're not getting attention. Granted, especially in marriage, it is important to make sure that the other person is getting attention. But like, to what point? Did they really forget about you? Are y'all that distant that y'all ready to break up right now? Are y'all ready to get a divorce just because some little bit of distance? No. Eventually you can fight back and get back together. But if you don't heal from, I remember when my mom said that she was going to do something and she took forever and I didn't believe her. I stopped believing in her. I stopped believing in my dad. I stopped believing.
Now you're taking it out on the person.
Now you're taking it out on people. Yeah, there was a point, I think, in my life, and I probably said it in different episodes, but basically you get to a point where I realized that, we have the saying what's for you is for you, right? But sometimes you still don't believe that when you're not healed, when you believe that somebody's still not going to show up for you. So you put all this energy and effort into old relationships because you don't want somebody to forget about you. Some of our relationships are just like that. Like you say, hey, I'm going to be in your life. I'm going to make sure you don't forget about me. But whole time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But when somebody actually loves you.
What's the fear if somebody is like, I don't want people to forget about me, so you constantly try to be in relationships with people, whether it's dating or friendships or even family. You're like, I don't want you to forget about me. Is it coming from a place of arrogance? Is it coming from a place of fear? Is it coming where is it coming from, and why do you feel like that's necessary?
I think it's both. I think the outward is arrogance, the inward is fear.
The outward is I'm so doggone important. I don't want anybody else to think that I'm not important. So I gotta show off that I'm something. Oh, um, that's because my mom didn't show up to my dance recital, and I thought that was my biggest moment, and they weren't there. And so anytime I perform in relationships, I'm gonna let you know that
I'm the best.
I'm the best. I'm important, and you're not gonna forget about me. Whole time you just afraid that somebody just gonna forget you for a little bit moment. But like, okay, babe, how many times I've DJed in the past several years that you've been with me?
I don't know.
Exactly. I'm not tripping if you miss one. I'm not tripping if you miss the next one. Guess what? Where's she gonna be at the end of the night? Here.
I feel like we even talk about that, like when we always ask. Well, at least I know I say it. If you think that if there's a time you think that I'm mad at you, I'd be like, babe, I promise you I'm not mad. I try to reassure you, like, I'm not upset. You know, it is what it is. This is not the hill I want to die on. And every time I say that, I'll be like, because where I'm going to sleep. Because, you know what I mean? I got to get up the next day. You going to be here. God going to be here. This house going to be here. Roxy going to be here. Where we going to go? Where we going to go? What we going to do? This food in the refrigerator for us.
Okay.
Where I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? It's just, at the end of the day, this is my life. Why would I mess that
up? I'm with you on all of that.
So that's my thought process.
I'm with you on all of that. But there's somebody out there, and they're probably, if they're watching even, they're probably sitting there thinking, but you don't understand. Like, I expect this much from people. And if they don't show up for me, you know what? I'm liable to cheat.
Because you feel like you need it. You feel like you need it.
Because what am I with you for? Why are you not why are you not showing up for me? But healing will show you that, okay.
Where is this stemming from? Right. And you can't be scared to ask that question. I think a lot of times we are scared to face ourselves.
No.
We become fools when we look in the mirror and forget what we look like.
The biggest bully we have is ourselves.
Yes. Why are you scared of yourself? I had to ask myself that. Like, I can't be scared to ask myself these questions because God already knows.
God definitely knows.
So why am I afraid to ask, okay, why? Well, why am I doing this? Or why am I doing that? Or why do I feel this way? Or why do I feel that way? Like, when you not scared to say that stuff and ask those questions and actually go look for them, you become a weapon.
Because like, you start having audacity, you start having confidence in yourself.
And things can't phase you. You start walking around with a smile on your face because now you're like, you know what? That ain't getting under my skin no more.
You know, this is something that I learned over the years since college, and I don't mean this in an arrogant way, but this is when I knew that I could be confident. I got around women, and they wasn't running away from me.
Here comes Nick.
No, like
they weren't running away.
That's
actually funny. Because why would they run away? I'm sorry, that's off topic, babe. But why would they run away?
That is off topic. But my real point is just the fact that like when I was younger, I was afraid.
Got you.
But then when I stepped in the room and people actually want to talk to me, like
you said, "Oh, it's not me."
And not to say that I had beef with dudes, but like, okay, look, the girls are talking to me, so like I clearly ain't the problem. Yeah. But beyond that, like it helped me understand even with myself as a DJ. Like, okay, you have this gift.
Right.
You are who you are. You cannot be afraid because you are meant to be. You are confident. You have what it takes. and and when I got over myself and like, well, when I went through my abstinence phase, I had to sit here and say, it's not you. It's not you. You don't have a hard time talking to women or nothing. It's just you just need to say what you want.
You need to manage yourself.
And go. And so yeah, sorry for the sidetrack, but that was important. that was for somebody that needs to understand, like, you don't need to be afraid of yourself or afraid of your capabilities. If you are walking around on this earth and you doubting yourself, you should not. Especially if after 25. Like, I get it. You have to grow into yourself.
That's what I'm saying. And it's not to say that you won't have those moments.
Absolutely.
But don't live in it. Don't live in it.
Please don't. Another thing, while we were kind of talking about this, is allow yourself to have ample time to heal.
Oh, you're gonna be healing the rest of your life. Because even while you're walking with God, life is gonna life.
Can you just say that again, just so that people can understand that there's no like on-off switch?
Yeah, there's no destination when it comes to this life. When you walking with Christ, you're gonna be healing every single day, because it's gonna be something that messes you up at 26, and then at 30 you're gonna be like, all right, I'm good now. But then something at 30 is gonna happen. And it, like, I'll just give it for example, my mom. I'm sure my mom is healed and gotten past a lot of things from little girl to this age now. But like, then her mom, my grandma, her mom passes. That's something else she's still healing from. And we all heal differently. And it was a point in time I'm like, I think my mom's having a hard time healing from this. But duh, it's her mom. She has to heal from this. She lost her dad. She had to heal from that. Like, we are not going to stop healing. Same with your mom. I'm sure your mom is like, okay, I've healed from my dad.
Somebody else.
You know what I mean? These are things that are just going to happen in life. Like, okay, you lose a job. You got to heal from that. You got to keep moving on. So there's no destination.
Fired from a job.
Yeah,
that's even. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you lose a child. You lose a marriage. It's something that you have to heal from. Always.
Can I bring this point into this? Because I saw this on social media, matter of fact, and it's a point that when you're choosing a spouse, you shouldn't be choosing just because of the aesthetic, just because you like what they look like or the romance they give you. You need to choose for the hard times in life. And we subconsciously say that.
You won't know.
But the level of trust you have with your partner should be like this.
Yeah.
Because why come home to someone when you're clearly going through it? Yeah. And they're dismissing you.
Yeah. They're not listening. You should be over there by now. It's like, no. Yeah, like you will have, like, it specifically say, pick someone that, when your parents pass away, that they can be there for you. But those little things, like you're saying, like, there's just going to be moments of healing throughout your whole life. You're going to come across some trauma you had when you were a child, or trauma you had at work or something. And you need someone to be there for you, and not just for the sex, not just for the flowers. Not a vice.
Exactly.
Your spouse shouldn't be a vice.
We have people posting, and I'm not trying to condemn them, but I hope that they understand. Like, you're saying that I deserve flowers every week. You can feel the way that you feel, but what's more important, flowers every week or somebody that's going to be there when you're bawling on the inside and outside because your mama passed? Yeah. Like, that's real.
You need somebody there, and not to take your mind off of it, but to help you through it.
Or even for the sake of just, and I know we don't necessarily talk about this because we think we're very progressive in our society, but like surviving. I need you to be healed so you can go to work, so that we can make this money and bring it back home and put some food in the refrigerator.
Like life don't stop, basically. Yeah. Yeah, and you want somebody to help you out.
You tripping over what? Like, I'm like, and I don't mean that to be rude, but like you you haven't healed over something. Why are you tripping over something when we got more important things to do?
Right.
I'm thinking from a
so what you're saying is, don't be sitting in this hole because, ooh, it's like that song Made for More. He said some. He's like, I wasn't made to. I can't think of the song. He's like, why would I? I can't think of the lyrics, but it's Made for More. And basically it said, why would I sit here in a grave? I was not made for this. I was not, when there's grace literally running after me. I can't think of the song right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it makes me think of that. Like, no, don't sit in this grave. Don't sit in this hole. We got stuff to do. Yeah, or don't die on that hill. Like, we still got stuff to do. You have life to live, and you're here for a reason. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So in the midst of this time of healing, understand that it's still going to be a lifelong journey. Don't just sit here and say
you're going to heal every day.
But in the context of dating, please still give yourself time to heal, because just because you replayed the scenario in your head and you said, "Oh, I know I'm going to do better next time," there's probably some more layers to it, and God is trying to work a new skill that's better for marriage than this. I'm putting my guard up, and I'm just not gonna do that no more. No, okay, a little deeper. How are we gonna talk through this? How can we have peace from this?
Right.
So, forgiveness. Let's talk.
Definitely a part of healing.
Definitely a part of healing. I concur. What's something that have we talked about? You like any forgiveness things that we've had to do? I know I had to forgive myself.
I mean, I wrote about it in my book, our book.
What, your book? She wrote it in her book.
We wrote it. I wrote it in the book.
No, it's important to forgive other people and forgive yourself, because you'll walk around saying, "Man, I can't believe I did that."
Yeah.
I can't believe
I've
that.
done that a lot. Like, just, dang, I can't believe I said that. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh, I can't believe I, even when it was wrong, even when it felt right, it's like, you sit here and you're like, dang. But I'm gonna say this.
What you gonna say?
Those thoughts are not. You have to be able to discern what thoughts are yours and what memory, like those memories that try to pop up. Because God does not want you to dwell on that. That is not the language of heaven. God wants peace for you. He wants joy and hope for you. He sees a future for you. He sees your future self. So for you to sit here, and then I learned in therapy that that's just what our brain does. Our brain, for some reason, just brings up thoughts
Trauma.
And memories and things like that.
Triggers.
Because it's just our brain. But again, pray for the discernment to distinguish between thoughts that are yours, the enemy's, and God's. Find out the language of heaven. Find out what is your language, and does it match heaven's? And find out what's the enemy's language. If he's the father of lies, then guess what? He's gonna lie. He's gonna bring up a memory of a time where you messed up, and it's like, well, dang, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. That's a lie. And now, is this conviction or condemnation? Like, these are things you have to really stop and be like, hold up. I'm dwelling on the situation, but let me really be conscious of what I'm doing right now. Is this conviction or condemnation? And is this a lie? First of all, you're not stupid. You just made a mistake. You were 16.
You didn't
didn't
know any better.
You know what I mean? And then were you around anybody that knew better? If everybody was cheering you on,
okay,
you know what I mean? And now you know better, and you wish you did better. Okay, you know better. Now just keep doing better. Now just like, is that who you are now? And if it is, go to God about it. Don't sit here and dwell on that moment and go out and do the same thing because you know better.
I was just about to say, because Okay, you say that I can't believe I did that. You did.
You did. Okay.
Okay.
That was it.
I went to jail.
You still here.
I'm still here.
So and right, it sounds like we're saying it so easily, right? Because we've been there. But for somebody who's like you said earlier, you just don't understand. You just don't understand. I may not understand.
I'll admit that. We admit that we may not understand.
We may not understand, right? And it may have been something really, really bad. And there is somebody who does understand.
The big man upstairs.
Because at the end of the day, you are either going to live or you are going to be walking a dead man. A walking dead man.
Mm-hmm.
Choose your heart. Are you going to live and be like, okay, just how do I move forward from here? The answers are in the Bible. It's in the Bible. But if you choose to dwell on that and not heal, you've lived a life of misery.
Or you plan on it. You right. You walking down that path.
Like I had to realize like I don't want to live this life constantly critiquing myself and being hard on myself or not, or choosing not to heal and get over something, because like you gonna look back and you like 60, 66 and you're like, dang, I really missed that. Like I don't remember that. Can
we ask this question? Ask this question to yourself. Do I plan on staying here? Like, am I making plans to stay in this misery? Like, like you went and got your popcorn, you got your recliner.
You got your
said,
blanket.
Yep, I'm gonna be right here.
You put on your sweats. You pulled your hair back. You put your do-rag on. Took your glasses off and said, I'm gonna just live here.
I'm just gonna be right here.
You dug your grave and you sat in it. That is not, I'm gonna tell you now, that is not what God wants.
I'm gonna sit here for about what, 40, 50
years. Like, no, you either choose to live or you choose to die. And I'm gonna just be honest, I'm gonna choose to live. Because if you choose to die, and like I said, you look back at your 66, 67, 68, you're gonna be like, dang, I should have just did it. I should have lived.
I should have went to God.
I should have started the business. I should have married that woman. I should have married that man. I should have, could have, would have.
I should have went to therapy.
I should have went to therapy. You know what I mean? And it's not the bad things I'm saying. It's the good things I'm saying. You missed out on because you were focused on what you did wrong. So, but that's the beauty of healing. As you heal, you begin to live.
Let's actually break this part too. Be okay with changing your perspective.
I feel like that's a problem.
What? What's the problem?
People feel like it's wrong to change your mind. Because somebody's going to come after you. You said before, da-da-da-da-da, and now you're saying, da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, you right, I did. Or now you're trying to lie to cover up the fact that you sound a little hypocritical. Yes, don't be a hypocrite, but at the same time, you are allowed to change your mind.
I think it's deeper than that. I mean, yes, I think some people just want to be stubborn just to be stubborn. There's people that do that, but I think there's some people that's just like, I don't see the other perspective yet. I refuse to open my eyes. And so I'm going to stay here because of the fact that I'm not allowing my brain to process something different. You just refuse to see another image.
I feel like maybe I'm speaking for me too. And maybe there is a pocket of people or somebody out there. For me, growing up, it was either this, it was this thing, right? And if you change your mind, you being fake. Or you now you a lame, or you whatever, you just you the complete opposite of what everybody. If you are the opposite of what everyone else is thinking when you once thought the same way, you're outcast, right? Or people just are now ignoring you because you don't think the same. Now they don't want to talk to you.
Mm.
And that was a fear of mine because I didn't want to be outcasted. I didn't want to be called lame. I didn't want to be like, well, you said earlier, though, that you believe this, and now you're saying you believe this. And it's like, yeah, because I saw the other perspective. I was afraid to, I saw often the other perspective. I changed my perspective, but I was afraid to voice it. Because I was afraid of what people would think.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And that was a problem for me, and God pointed that out. And now I'm like, I'm not scared to change my mind, and I'm not scared to voice it now.
That's crazy. So I'm the opposite. I'm literally blind until I see another perspective. So, like, for example, say, you know, I've been in homes, right? But then I actually walked inside of a mini mansion and seen 2 islands and a stainless steel refrigerator and shout out to that person. Yeah, like shout out to that person that invited me to their home so I could DJ there for their daughter's birthday. That because I had access. Not just because I've seen it on TV, MTV Cribs or something like that. No, it's like I literally walked into this house.
Yeah,
I walked around this house and it's like, oh, so this is what like space looks like. This is what a house can. This is what a house can look like. And I'm like, I mean, not, you know, again, it's not about trying to have more money or, you know, just to brag or anything. No, it's just the fact that I saw something beautiful and I'm like, what do I got to do to get that? Right. And so for when it came to my relationship with God too, I saw, you know, how religious people handled their relationship with God. But when I started watching Transformation Church, I'm like, oh, so you can actually have a relationship with God and he's not condemning you for everything. Right. And
it's not a do, you need to do this in order to see me.
And guess what? You can also have nice things and God can bless you. And it's not, oh, I got to live in this rinky-dink house. No offense to people, but it's just like my perspective changed to saying that God is actually a God of blessing. And
he wants to.
I've been in I came from the hood and I heard the religious people talk and I didn't think more could be for me. And now my perspective is changing, especially like that's a part of healing, to be able to say, oh, there's something beautiful on the other side. That's what that's what our tagline means.
And they're not the bad guys. Like the people with the like the things that seem nice, they're not evil, y'all.
Absolutely. Like this tagline that we put on our book is called it says, look beyond what you see. You probably can't see it right now, but like get you a copy of this book and then you'll see it. You know what I mean? Get you a copy. But my point is, I was able to look at something from a different perspective and it was beautiful. And it wasn't wrong. It didn't feel wrong. It felt peace. And I'm like, you know what? No, I want that now. What was I looking at before? The heck was that?
I want that now.
You ever see? I'm gonna make it real simple. Y'all ever been to like Chili's or something and they had them fajitas? And you ordered you a burger and you heard it sizzling. You walk by, you see the plate, and just be like,
I want that now.
Like, I want that now. What they got? Same concept, y'all. When you look, we married. Y'all looking at us. Y'all probably shoot. I want that. That's the beautiful thing that Transformation Church pointed out. It was on their Crazy Faith message, the first one. When you see it happen for somebody close to you. Then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, no, let me get a piece of that.
Let me give me some of that.
Give me some of that.
and not in a lustful or what is it, covetousness?
No,
like,
not jealousy
kind of
neither.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can have that too.
Yeah.
Like,
God really be out here
I'm just waiting
for everybody,
Yeah.
breaking pieces off for everybody, y'all. That's again. This is why we do. There's an I Am Marriage, understanding that like God is here for you, okay, not just for us. This is for you, okay, for you. We having fun, right?
You silly.
I guess the last thing, because we actually have been hitting on everything, is that we did say that you're not always going to be fully healed.
Right.
We even had somebody ask that question at our podcast in person. Check out any of those events coming up if you see a flyer. But the question was, do you have to be fully healed? And the obvious answer is no. But you should get to a point where you're not hard to handle.
You don't have a hard heart. Yeah.
You ever look at somebody and be like, oh, they just too much. They
just
hard to
don't-
hand.
Yeah. They don't listen to nobody. They don't even listen to themselves. You know, like that. If that's, don't pick up no project.
They
God ain't tell you
they
to
come
pick
with
it
a
up.
lot.
If God ain't tell you to pick it up, don't pick it up.
Because
Just say that.
because healing will help you understand that, one, you don't have to be a lot.
You have that discernment. Yeah.
And then you start looking at other people, and it's not out of condemning and judgment, but you know what, your peace.
You chose your heart. You
choose
chose
your heart.
You like, you know what? I don't think I can handle that. And I don't think that God is telling me to go handle that. And I think that's the tough part when it comes to some Christians. We have this thought, and again, that remember, you have to distinguish between thoughts of God, yourself, and the enemy. And the enemy will use scripture against you. So you can sit here and say, well, God told me to love my neighbor as myself. Okay, you see a project, a person, or whatever, and you see it's hard. That thought that comes up, well, God said to love everybody, and He wants to go on a date, but I can clearly see, okay, I'm gonna do it. No, no. You see that it's what he's doing. You see his behavior is his or her behavior is not good for you. It's not good behavior. It's not behavior that's going to bring you peace. You actually see the drama around them. Do not pick that project up. Remember, just because God says to love everyone, you can love them from a distance and not give them your energy or your space. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have boundaries.
Pastor said it earlier too, and this is from a different perspective, but on the same topic. It don't matter how pretty you are, how handsome you are, how much swag you got, how much you can tell them everything that they want to hear. If they are a person that needs to work on themselves and really get their own relationship with God, there's nothing you can do to fix that. It's literally God.
If God didn't put it on your heart to do it, don't you do it. And remember, and this is why it's so important to have. It's so important to know Scripture. And I'm not saying you need to memorize the entire Bible, but know when Scriptures pop up in your head. Remember, again, the enemy used Scripture on Jesus, but it is written. Okay, it's written that you should love other people. But it's also written that you should also maintain peace.
It's also written that it's better for a man to live in the corner of the house than to be with a nagging wife.
And if you see her nagging, y'all ain't even together.
He also,
you know what I mean?
It said, stay away from that woman's front door, because don't go into that house, because she's a problem.
This is why it's important to know Scripture. It is written. Yeah, it's also written. So if God
Proverbs.
If God didn't put it on your heart to do it, then don't do it. You know what I mean? And don't feel that pressure. And I think in Christianity, I feel like we have this pressure to always do the right thing and always do the good thing. Yes, you should. And have the discernment to say no. Have the discernment to stand your ground and be like, I cannot do that. I should not do that.
Because how many years are you willing to give up for that project?
Right.
How and not just years as in, okay, maybe it's 2 years and then we break up. No, it's 2 years you break up and you got to heal from that.
Right.
And however long that takes because you either act on it fast or you
act on it slow, and then you still have life happening to you.
Life is happening to you. Bills, kids
Bills
potentially.
Still do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You still got your parents, you got your siblings, you got friends. You still, you don't know what drama is gonna come up. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. Can we take a quick pause? I wanted to get this point off. Mm-hmm. Have you ever asked yourself, or have you ever said out loud, "I'm hard to handle," or "I come with a lot"? Mm. Like I'm asking y'all.
If you a counter question, like a part 2 to that question. Mm-hmm. When and if you said it,
what did you mean?
Did you say it? Yeah. Did you say it with pride? Mm. Did you say where did that statement come from in your heart? And that's where you have to kind of look. And again, it's not a judgmental question. I'm not here to condemn nobody. I want you to know where your heart is, because I know where my heart is. Mm-hmm. So if you said that, where did that come from?
Because when I asked this question to y'all, the concern is, okay, are you not healed? Are you healed? Can I not saying I have to handle you. Nobody should be handled in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But can we have a partnership together?
It's a partnership. Yeah.
If every time I bring an idea you have to argue if I argue,
yeah,
if we can't have a dialogue.
You're doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Can we come to a solution? Yeah. Or, just because you have a lot of preferences, can we compromise? Mm-hmm. Can we work things out? That's being hard to handle. These are the things that when you're saying this, first of all, words have power. Right. So now you're telling everybody that you're hard to handle.
Anybody gonna want to be around
you? Nobody want to deal with that. You saying it out loud because you're saying it with pride, or you're trying to warn somebody like, hey,
where is it coming? Yeah, this is why I say, where is it coming from?
But even if you're warning someone, okay, to what point are you able to say, you know what, I'm not as bad as y'all think I say I am, y'all. Like, I want to have a meaningful relationship, and I just don't want to have my time wasted. Say that. I want to
be conscious of your wording.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I value my time. I value my space. I value myself, mm-hmm. and I would like for you to value that too. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've talked a lot, like in a good way, like about healing, because this step is really going to show you the next few steps, like how to, like if you're single, this is going to really be that next step to where you can start talking about, okay, God, I want to incorporate somebody else in my life. I refuse to be the problem now. Once I'm not the problem anymore, how can I bring somebody else into my life? Mm. How can we have this beautiful space together? If you haven't watched steps 1, 2, and 3, highly recommend watching those, because all of this is going to start making sense. Mm-hmm. Of course, we're posting them in real time at this point, but once we get all the way through, yes, we have 9 steps.
We'll have a folder playlist.
You will have a playlist, and you'll be able to understand in totality, like all the things that it takes to be married. Really, we're not letting you sit in just dating. We want you to progress to marriage
and have peace and prosperity in all your relationships, not just marriage. But I believe if you get to marriage, it begins to overflow in all your other relationships.
Oh, yes.
But even if you don't get to marriage, starting with one of your relationships, it'll begin to overflow into the others.
Honestly, it's starting with yourself.
Yeah.
That relationship between you and God. I mean, it'll just the way that people will
overflow.
The gifts that you have, everything will overflow. Yep. So, thank you for watching, listening. Hopefully, gaining some wisdom, some knowledge. If you know someone and you're not trying to point them out, but at the same time say, hey, I think this is a really good conversation to listen to. I think you can share this video along with someone. Go on ahead and do that. Again, like, share, subscribe. You know how they say the same things, and we do too. But we love you. We just wanted to give this encouragement for your current situation and in the future. We love you, and we hope you have a great week. See you next time.